Hey, I'm Jenny Hayden. Welcome to my comedy hot take because it's about 90 degrees out here on my balcony comedy club. Anyway, we just had a lovely 3 day weekend, which I, again, managed to totally ruin by over planning and then not having enough time, even though it's basically only 8 hours extra. You always think, oh, I'll just do that in the 3 day weekend coming up. So, the first day of the 3 day weekend, you have to blow off because you deserve a break. You're not going to do all that stuff, on the first day. And then the second day, well, that's, in this case, that's the 4th of July. You can't be doing work on that day. It starts with the parade. You go, you teach the kids to run in the street for old candy. You maybe watch somebody almost choke to death on a Jolly Rancher. And you get to hear this year, you get to hear everybody talking because they don't have their masks on, and you're all together. So yeah, we heard a lot of talk about babies and cars, death, and food. You hear a lot about, oh my gosh, there was too much food, and oh, we got to put the food away, and we got to take certain food out. We got to, take care of the dips. And the moms walking back from the parade, they're extra chatty because they're filling the strollers with margaritas and things, that are now gone. And just talking about babies, like, oh, Franklin, oh my gosh, he's 14 pounds now, and he's in the 70th percentile. And then another mom says, oh, did you hear about Abercrombie? He's 30 pounds. That's like the 99th percentile. That's giant. That child is giant. And then you start thinking, wow, 14 pounds. That would feed a lot of people because, you got to figure about 1.5 pounds per guest, for Thanksgiving, for turkey, and then you think a couple pounds extra for bones. So yeah, Franklin would feed about 8 people. Perfect. And then, gosh, Abercrombie, you could invite the aunts and the cousins because that's like 14 people plus the kids table. But I guess, take away the high chair. Yeah, I don't know. I had my kids around Thanksgiving, so as soon as they take that baby and put it in that white scale with that butcher paper, your head just goes right there, and you think, don't think it, but then you can't help but think how many people your baby would feed. And then, my kids are teenagers now, and they still kind of think, wow, Mom, I would really feed a lot of people at this point. And I think, well, that's decent, that's great. I am a terrible parent, whatever. Great. So you get back from the parade, then you go to the fireworks later, and the fireworks are great. Everybody's chatting there too, and watching the fireworks. The first people leave, as soon as they start, because apparently they were just there to see, make sure they still look the same, which they do, and so they gotta go. And then the chatter, people watching the fireworks, like, oh, that's my favorite, the one with the little tassels. And then someone says, how come so many green and purple ones this year, and then you hear someone say, oh, well, that's because Mardi Gras didn't have any fireworks, and you think to yourself, well, our 2-bit little operation here in Wisconsin is probably not, looking on the eBay for the downriver Mardi Gras fireworks. Plus, I think they had fireworks at Mardi Gras, even when, I don't know. Anyway, then you hear other people talking like, oh my gosh, the firemen are so cute. And then the woman's husband is like carrying 6 baskets of stuff and trying to recrack the little glow necklaces for the kids because they've already started to dim. And he realizes his phone's dead. He can't use the flashlight to find the car, And then meanwhile, people are fleeing the fireworks when they're over. Fleeing. Grown men pushing children and old people aside and trampling them and trying to get out of there as soon as possible. Like the lake's on fire. And I'm thinking, the lake just was on fire. And that's when you were sitting comfortably drinking your box wine. Now you're in a big hurry. Where, what? To get to your car and sit there? I don't understand. So then, you get home and you wake up the next morning and that's day 3. You feel like crap. And you hate yourself. And you didn't do any of this stuff. 9,000 hours you got left. You gotta clean the house. You gotta, teach that kid how to drive. You got 10 hours of night driving, honey. Let's take care of that over 4th of July weekend. Well, that's a genius plan. Then you gotta weed the garden because it's become just a party for the dill and the arugula, just having a good tango with the weeds out there. And then the tomato plants are like, oh, you gotta water me twice a day so I can give you a tomato in December. Thanks a lot, tomatoes. So, and then you just realize that you hate yourself. You didn't do your resume that you were going to do over the 3-day week because you didn't need that extra jab in the side. And you didn't record those work videos either because, oh, I'll just take care of that over the 3-day weekend. Well, nobody feels like doing that on the third day. It's just not time for that, and you're not going to give work that because you hate your job. And you talk to your friends and you're like, I really hate my job, you know, I don't want to go there on Tuesday even though it's a 4-day week. I hate that place. And then you think, you know, hey, do you want to just go for a drink? And then your friend says, sure, yeah, because I hate my job and I don't want to go and I don't want to do this. So then you go for a drink, and that's it. And so thank you, Jenny Hayden. That was my hot take for Comedy Night 2021.